Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Not So Fast Quickie review, where I talk about any game that catches my eye. Usually they tend to be free games, but I guess I gotta start somewhere, right? As many of my friends know, I can't really handle anything with the slightest sense of fear, and if we're being honest, the game mode Infected in Call of Duty scares the shit out of me. Moving on, despite being a scary cat, I've always wanted to try and explore the scary genre. I mean, just look at games like Outlast and Resident Evil. The games look fucking amazing. For that sole reason, I decided to play this bad boy right here, and let me say it wasn't what I expected. Before everyone takes out their pitchforks, I want to say that these are all facts, and you can't correct me since I'm never wrong. With that being said, let's just jump into it. The year's 1898. After receiving a letter from your lover, you're shocked to find out that she is being held against her will until she has performed the melody that her mom has sung for years. Like the idiot you are, you go and try to free your lover instead of following her instructions and creating a counter to the melody that she will sing. After arriving, you soon learn that this is no ordinary hotel. The inhabitants have been driven to madness by a supernatural force that surrounds the hotel. So get ready, Thomas, this mission won't be a short one. Similar to movies like A Quiet Place, Maid of Sker is all about sound. The noises you make when walking or breathing is how the beasts are alerted. Despite being an overused trope, it was nice to see it being turned into a game. Since I've always complained about their stupid actions in movies, this game would put to test my survival instincts when it came to facing these things. Let's just say, I wasn't very good at surviving. The mechanics are pretty simple. In fact, I'm pretty sure I can describe them in about 10 seconds or less. Okay, here I go. You can't make any noise or you'll be heard. To avoid making noise, you can crouch down and hold your breath, or you can create a distraction and sneak somewhere else. If you get caught, you get a spanking. The more damage you take, the more noise you make. See, pretty easy to explain. Sadly, after a while the gameplay begins to fall flat. Now don't get me wrong, the mechanics are pretty good the first couple of hours. Having to sneak while holding your breath is an experience for sure, especially when you're an idiot like me that keeps bumping into furniture that alerts the enemies. Seriously, I didn't know I attracted the enemies until I got an achievement that said that I bumped into furniture 250 times. Talk about a professional gamer, right? But even standing still and attempting to solve puzzles with them a few meters away is scary, but after a while, the imperfections really begin to show. The AI sucks. There's no actual gray area with how much noise you can make. You can go undetected around the enemies by just walking next to them, but other times, you can be crouching and holding your breath a couple of meters away and you'll still be heard. Seriously, what type of shit is that? I'm sure they knew how hard it would be to sneak around so many enemies, and perhaps that's why they added this little ball. Since I'm too lazy to find out what it's called, let's just refer to it as a ball. The ball doesn't really kill the guys, but instead it stuns them for a couple of seconds, allowing you to run away. When it comes to the ammo for this thing, it's pretty hard to find, so don't go wasting it like I did the first 5 minutes. Now, it wasn't because I was in a tight spot, but I kept pressing the button by mistake. Man, I really am an idiot. Sadly, this thing has its drawbacks too. What sucks about the weapon is that it does nothing against the bosses. When facing this dude, I thought I could stun him and run around him, but the dude just walked through it. Not only that, but the ball gets destroyed towards the end. So why even introduce it if it's gonna be taken away eventually? Don't get me wrong, it's a creative way to make you feel powerless against them, but why add it if it has little to no importance in the game? Although I sound like a baby whining about the game, I don't hate it. When the game is at its best, it's immersive as shit. Having to sneak around a group of guys in a hallway is terrifying, especially when you're about 2 or 3 feet away from them. When standing in front of the enemy, I remember I would yell at my scream, "You son of a bitch, you better hold it in." You'd think this suspenseful feeling would go away after a while, but the bosses and their unique traits make it more interesting every time you face them. Now I don't want to spoil what the bosses do, but let's just say when you encounter the uncle, you will shit bricks. Sadly, this game wasn't my cup of tea. The concept is incredible on paper, but I couldn't help to feel unsatisfied with the way it was being handled. The story was compelling and full of mystery, but I couldn't really save the game. The gameplay was really boring at times, and more often than not, it would break immersion. As soon as you learn that the enemies stop rushing you as soon as you enter the save rooms, it would just become an easy escape from danger. Even without the rooms, the sound-based AI was clunky and would not work well sometimes. Overall, the rating is a 6.5 out of 10.